Hello, this is Victor. I'm here with a new Ask Victor video. And this is the video where I answer the questions that you have put me in the month before in the Ask Victor of April. So if you want this video to continue, please leave your questions in the comments below and I will answer them in 1 month. So normally I do this in the middle of the month, can be 14, 15, 16, around these days. And yeah, the objective is that I can answer your questions, I can give my feedback, and as well, if you want to give me your feedback, it's very welcome. So I hope you enjoy this one, and remember that you can support always this channel just by commenting, giving a like, subscribing, or even you can support me in Patreon. So let's start with the questions and comments from the previous month. So the first is just a comment, is from Owaya, it's me. Howaya, or Hawaii, it's me. Just want to say hi. I have not been able to watch your amazing skill lately. Keep up the great work, pal. Thanks. Thanks a lot. Very appreciate. I'm very glad that you like my work, and I hope you're enjoying what you have seen. And yeah, over everything, keep safe during these days. Next is from Bokdor. Say, hello, Victor. I have three questions. If you have the time, of course, I have the time. So let's see the three questions. Firstly, I'm adding an Inquisition detachment to my AdMech army with Eisenhorn, and I was wondering, in all your experience, what are the best models to use for acolytes? So it depends a lot on the aesthetics you want to follow. Okay, today I will say the best is to go to Necromunda warbands. From one warband, I think you can have a good amount of acolytes. As well, some of the miniatures from depends the type of acolyte you want, right? But if you want like acolytes that are like soldiers or like Imperial Guard or something like that, or war, I will use the Necromunda warbands. You want something dark, something secretive, you can use Orlok. No, sorry, the Lake. You can also use Orlok, Bansar. I think these are bar ones that can give, depending on the look. I will recommend you to explore in the Games Workshop site and look for the warbands for from Necromunda. I think there you can have a lot of inspiration. Then you will need, if you need cult assassins, this is a tricky one because I think the Rock Trader, the Rock Trader kill team, the one from the Imperium, is also very nice miniatures to do a warband. I think this is a great how was called the forgot the name, but you know, the ones that came in the Rock Trader kill team, especially the Empire ones, they are Inquisition acolytes almost by definition. So you have some soldiers, you have an assassin cult. So if you can have this by eBay, or you can split this work with a colleague, I think this is also a great start. This is one of the reasons I wanted to have this Rock Trader Warband, because I think I have a lot of personality. Even you have a doggy. Um, what else? If you want something more retro, more in the old times, the people was using the Free Company or what's called Empire Militia. But today I don't think it's available anymore in the Games Workshop, so you have to look in eBay, and it's quite expensive. But they were a great kit to make conversions for Inquisition. So that was the base, and you need to find the weapons from the Imperial Guard. Uh, you can always use Imperial Guard, but it's too vanilla. Okay, it's too common. I don't think it's a great acolyte. And then, if you want some missionaries or something from, like a prayer or something like that, then you have to look into the Adeptus Sororitas range, right? To have like a missionary or something like that. So it depends a little bit on what direction you want to get, but I will really look a lot into the Necromunda warbands. There, I think you will have a lot of inspiration, and then you will need, depending what you want, the direction you want to get, you will need some special miniatures like the Cult Assassins or the Crusaders. But these are today they are a little bit small, too small. The Crusaders, and I don't think they will match nicely. You also can look beats if you can buy an Arco Flagellants or two Arco Flagellants from the Sisters of Battle. This is also a good addition to Acolytes. Okay, so let me summarize Necromunda, the first place I will look for. Even in Necromunda, you can find bounty hunters, and you can use them as a cult assassins, converting them. So you can have a good, you can use Asher as cult assassin if you want, or even I would say Bansar have a very interesting armor, so they also can be used very easily as a cult assassin. Cawdor, very interesting as a warband as well, for as a Mintus for acolytes. Cawdor the Lake, I will say, will be my favorites to start looking for. Next question. Secondly, I was wondering, why do you not use painting handle? I have the bad habit to paint, as you can see in my videos, to pick the miniature directly from the base. I'm thinking lately to have a painting handle, especially when I do some parts. So maybe it's something I need to change. And I was wondering, why do you don't use wet palette? I use wet palette from time to time, not all the time, but no, the one I make myself, it's not the best. I was not happy, so I just purchased a wet palette before the quarantine. But as I did the purchase together with other stuff from Games Workshop, I'm still waiting for 1 month and a half that this order arrives to me. So I will do a review once I have the wet palette. I will give the feedback, and my plan is to start using more and more the wet palette. To be fair, when it comes to painting, I have two bad habits. One is handling the miniature from the base directly and not to use miniature handle. I've been doing this for more than 20 years, and it's something that I'm used to that. And the other thing is I'm painting directly from the pot. Yeah, when I started, what I was doing is I was diluting the paint directly in the pot, right? Adding a little bit of water to make it thinner. I want to change these two bad habits, most likely. So wet palette I'm using from time to time, especially when I want to do wet blending or something like that, or soft transitions. I use the wet palette, but not all time, to be sincere. But yeah, this is something I want to change, and it will come. I think I need also to start getting rid of these bad habits. Being from Newfoundland, I have had the privilege of seeing your work in person at Sword and Steel, and it's incredible. Thanks a lot, Bogdur. I'm glad you like it. And let's see if I can collaborate more with Sword and Steel in the future. Because it was a very fun project. I really enjoyed doing something that is not normally what I do for my miniatures, and maybe I should collaborate a little bit more in future. I should contact them. Let's go. Edic Beer 40,000 or 40k. Necrons and more. So if you are into the Necrons, I recommend Edic Beer. If you are into 40,000, I'd also recommend Edic Beer. Great channel, great person, a great pillar in the community. I think he's really a reference in the community. So let's go for the questions. Great answers, Victor. Thanks, Nick. Sorry to give you a tough tough one. No, it was not a problem. I always like tough questions. So, what are your thoughts about the Psychic Awakening releases? They seem pretty drawn out, but do seem be leading up to something big. Maybe ninth edition once it's all done. Oh, let's go back. I have Psychic Awakening. Um, I have the feeling it's a little bit too long, right? Too many releases. Maybe they should have done more compressed releases. And if you on top, if you are a Chaos player, it's becoming quite a nightmare, right? If you play a little bit of Soup of Chaos, what I will just collect, right? If you, for example, have Death Guard, and then you combine this with vanilla chaos, then you need at least two Psychic Awakening books, two codexes, plus the chapter approved. So it's a lot of books that you need now to. So the only pushback for me is that no, we have a lot of books, a lot of rules for armies. You need it's almost impossible for me to couple, right? So it was really difficult for me to get up to speed on 8th edition with Psychic Awakening. I give up. Okay, so I play what I play. I know I'm focusing on the Sisters of Battle or the Adeptas Sororitas, and yeah, and I try to focus on them. So a lot of information. On the other side, I like because it gives a lot of personality to each army and give room to really personalize. If you are not into the competitive game, where you don't need to know all the rules and you don't need to be up to speed, I think it's a great addition. It's great to have this level of personalization in each army, to be able to have also this all these how it's called, all these rules, right? The only thing that bothers me a little bit on 8th edition is all these stratagems. For me, it's impossible to remember them all, okay? I try to make a strategy around some of them, and I'm not able to optimize the use of the stratagems and the common points. So it's impossible to remember all what you have in your army, and I just plan in advance, and I use mainly for the rolls and that's also. I think for me, one of the most difficult things to manage is all the stratagems, and I think it's what it makes difficult for me to follow up on all these rules. On the other side, I like a lot all the personalization that we have in terms of units and in terms of updates. I think it's for the competitive is good that they are using this Psychic Awakening to put more or less armies that were low tier to try to make them a little bit stronger, to try to make them a more competitive, more balanced game. I think it's good that they review the rules for the competitive, but if you are not too much into the competitive and you are not playing every week, it's difficult to follow up. But okay, if I have to balance, all in all, I will say too many books for my taste, too many launches on Psychic Awakening. I will have condensate them in less books. Uh, but on the other side, is a great initiative from Games Workshop to be able to balance the different codexes. So it's if I have to look pros and cons, I would say it's more good than bad. Okay. Are they leading to the ninth edition? In some, I'm not sure if Psychic Awakening is really leading to the ninth edition because I did not read all the fluff to be, but what I see is disconnected events sometimes, right? There's something happening in one part of the galaxy, and then something different happening in another part of the galaxy. It's like, and maybe this is the whole point. I don't see too much the connection between them. I think what is leading to the ninth edition is the video we have seen about the Necrons. Yeah, it's very interesting to see um, the evolution of the Necrons. If I look into Age of Sigmar, we can have something like the Necroquake. Okay, in Age of Sigmar, the Death faction or Nagash. Okay, that will be the equivalent to the I don't know, the Silent guy from I don't remember exactly the name of the Necron super boss. Okay, but Nagash is the equivalent in Age of Sigmar, and he really messed up with with one of the realms, and he created a magic quake, right? He explode the magic around. So it's the opposite of the Necrons, of course, because Necrons don't use war, but I it can happen something like that, right? That the Necrons suddenly wake up from a lot of places. Maybe we see new Citang or we see new powers from the Necrons, and let's see how they mess up with the galaxy. It will be interesting that not only Chaos is messing up with the in galaxy size events, and also we see Necrons or other channels doing this type of events. So will be if Necrons start recovering the all power will be very interesting. And that was the last question. The last one is from Scarlock. The Wanderer is just telling me a nice haircut because I just cut my hair before the previous videos. So that's all what I have in this. I hope you have enjoyed this chat. A little bit of rambling sometimes, but I really like. Thanks a lot for the questions. They were very interesting, and I really enjoy answering them. And I really try to be as open as possible to you, and I try to give my best answers each time. So I don't have more to say here. Just to say thanks a lot for watching this video. Please Leave questions in the comments below. It's the only way I can keep doing this series if you enjoy these ones, okay? And if you don't enjoy this one, I don't mind if you can put a comment below telling me how you would like me to change that. As I said, thanks a lot for watching and see you again later. Bye.